just talking about the food that you guys all did. You all did it on a raw vegan diet. How much food did you guys have to eat in a day? I'd imagine you guys running a marathon every day would be a lot of calories.
Yeah, that's true. Bananas seem to be a really good staple part of the diet. They keep fairly well. I mean, bananas, they were sort of a bit too green for the first few days, but for the last few days they were getting really just sort of soft and mushy, but still quite edible. So there were days when we ate as many as 30 bananas each. That was the most we ever ate. But quite often, on a regular basis, we would eat between 15 and 20 bananas each per day.
As well as all the other fruits.
Yeah.
So we'd make smoothies with lots of bananas in them. Greens seemed to keep quite well, so we had big bunches of kale and spinach, silver beet. They kept really well. We had a few small fridges, so we could make green smoothies, and that seemed to fuel us quite well.
This. See the green smoothie?
Yeah, there we are, just like that. We're coming for a break after doing, say, 10 kilometres, and we'd have 3 or 4 of these green smoothies.
That's good stuff. Yeah, a lot of people in the running world, you hear them talking about using supplements, things like caffeine and all that. Did you guys have to do any of that?
Wow. No.
That's incredible.
We had no supplements, no superfoods. Fruit and vegetables, fresh, were our superfoods. And we never have those anyway. And we also do not have any kind of like painkillers or any kind of drugs or anything like that. No stimulants like coffee or tea or anything either. So we got everything we needed in the way of, fueling and being not only satiated with food, but also being fueled and having the amount of energy we needed for recovery as well, just straight from fruit and vegetables. And that was the biggest message really that we wanted to bring to people, is that you don't have to it's not complicated, it's very simple. You just eat fruit and vegetables until you're satiated, and it's enough. And obviously if you're going to run a marathon every day, which we don't necessarily recommend, but if you're going to do something as extreme as that, then you need to eat more. It's that simple, really. Yeah, absolutely. You certainly don't need all these extras.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, another thing people would say is eating a lot of protein, dairy, salts to be strong as an athlete. What are you guys' thoughts on this advice that is being pushed to people?
Well, I think, I think it's actually, it's obviously clearly a myth, because we don't have any of that. And, and we've just done something physically, mentally, and emotionally bigger than anybody else has ever done in that way. At our age as well, which is, we're both in our 60s. And so clearly that is a myth, that you need to have animal products or any kind of supplements to get enough protein or any nutrients. If you're eating enough fruits and vegetables, especially greens with the vegetables, you will get enough protein and B12 and all the nutrients that people are concerned about. But you have to eat enough, and you have to eat it correctly. So just calling yourself raw vegan and just eating pasta or rice every day doesn't work. And, those are empty calories anyway, and they're acidic to the body. So you really have to have as much alkaline food, live food, as you can possibly get to get the nutrients you need to do something like what we did. But for just normal living, we have a smoothie every day, and we have a lot of fruit throughout the day, and a nice big green salad at the end of the day, perhaps, and a big juice. So that's just normally, and we just graze whenever we want to. So we're not having to sort of prepare huge big meals and looking for where do we get our protein. We ran all the way around Australia, almost 16,000 kilometers looking for this protein that people keep worrying about. And, it's never an issue. We never worry about where we're getting what because we eat only raw fruits and veg. All the food that we eat is completely 100% nutrient-laden food, and it's accessible to your body. Your body assimilates it immediately. For us, it was basically going straight into the bloodstream within about half an hour, and it's usable. So we weren't having to spend 3 or 4 days digesting and processing food and using up, our stored energy in processing non-food or dead food. So it's very, we just never have to worry or think about it. We don't have to even count calories. We generally know how much food we need to eat to get 3,000 to 4,000 calories, which is what we needed to run a marathon a day. But in our normal lifestyle, perhaps we might be 1,800, 2,000 calories because we do go for a run every day. And basically we just make sure that we have a good smoothie and plenty of fruit during the day. And whenever we feel like we want to eat, then we do. We don't sort of think, okay, I have to go and eat this, I have to have my meat and veg and all that type of thing to get my protein and so on. We just don't even think about it. It's not necessary when you're eating 100% nutrient-laden food to start with, because your body tells you, okay, that's enough of that. You might want to have an apple now. So
that's the thing that we found. Some days we'll be running along, and one day might seem a bit harder than the day before. We might feel a bit more tired, or we couldn't keep our speed up quite as much. And then we'd look back on the day before and say, what did we eat the day before? Because I think your body gets really sort of tuned in. You can really listen to your body, and your body's going to tell you. You say, oh, well, maybe, we had that extra avocados yesterday because they were going ripe. Maybe we shouldn't have done that, and we just sort of talk about this. But we could really tell. I mean, some days we felt like, some days 42K or 26 miles just felt like 10 miles. And some days 26 miles felt like 50 miles, especially the last few at the end. But we can look back on the days before or the weeks before and pretty much figure out why some days were actually harder than others.